I want to talk to you today about living your life with purpose and intentionality. Too often we fall into the trap of waiting for the right time to pursue our dreams, mend relationships, or make a change. We tell ourselves next year I'll get serious about my goals, or when things settle down, I'll focus on what really matters. But let me remind you, time is one of the most precious gifts God has given us. Every day is an opportunity to grow, to love, and to step into the destiny He has prepared for you. God has a plan for your life, a purpose that is uniquely yours. It's not a coincidence that you are here at this moment with the dreams, talents, and aspirations that fill your heart. You were created with intention, designed by the Creator of the universe to make a difference in this world. Yet, how often do we let time slip away, caught up in fear, doubt, or distractions? We tell ourselves that tomorrow will be the day we start living with purpose, but tomorrow turns into next week, next year, or even next decade. Let me encourage you today, you don't have to wait any longer. God's plan for you begins now, and His timing is always perfect. Sometimes it's easy to feel like our past disqualifies us from God's plan. We carry the weight of mistakes, missed opportunities, or seasons of delay, thinking we've missed our chance. But let me remind you, God is not limited by your past. He can use every experience, good and bad, for His glory and your growth. The Bible tells us in Jeremiah, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." That promise is as true today as it was when it was first spoken. God's plan for your life is one of hope, restoration, and purpose. Even if you feel like you're stuck or lost, know that He is always working behind the scenes, orchestrating events and opening doors that you can't yet see. But His plan requires your cooperation. You have to take that step of faith, trusting that He will guide you along the way. Waiting for the perfect moment or the right circumstances will only keep you in a cycle of delay. The perfect moment is now, because God's presence is always with you, ready to lead and strengthen you. One of the most powerful aspects of God's plan is its uniqueness. No one else can fulfill the purpose He has set aside for you. The dreams in your heart, the skills and gifts you've been given, are all part of His divine design. Yet comparison often robs us of the courage to step into our calling. We look at others and think they're more talented, more qualified, or more deserving. But the truth is, God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. He chose you for a reason, and He will give you everything you need to succeed. Living out God's plan requires surrender. It means letting go of our own agendas and trusting His direction, even when it doesn't make sense. Proverbs reminds us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Trusting God means believing that His ways are higher than our ways, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. It means being willing to follow Him, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Another key to stepping into God's plan is letting go of the distractions that hold you back. Fear, doubt, and procrastination are some of the biggest obstacles to fulfilling your purpose. Fear tells you that you're not enough. Doubt tells you that you'll fail. And procrastination convinces you that there's always more time. But God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. He has equipped you to overcome these challenges and walk boldly into your destiny. God's plan is not just about achieving goals or reaching milestones. It's about becoming who He created you to be. It's about developing character, growing in faith, and impacting the lives of those around you. When you live in alignment with His purpose, you not only experience fulfillment, but you also inspire others to seek their own calling. Your obedience to God's plan can be the catalyst for someone else's transformation. So don't waste another year of your life wondering if you're worthy, waiting for the right time, or holding on to what's familiar. Trust that God's plan for you is good and that He has already prepared the way. Step forward in faith, knowing that He will provide, strengthen, and guide you every step of the journey. Your future is full of promise, and your best days are ahead. Let this be the year you embrace God's plan and live with the purpose and passion He has placed in your heart. Time is one of the most precious gifts we have. Unlike material possessions, time cannot be replaced, stored, or bought back. Each moment is unique and fleeting, carrying with it an opportunity to grow, learn, and make an impact. Yet how often do we find ourselves taking this gift for granted? We assume we'll always have more time to chase our dreams, time to repair relationships, time to live fully. But the truth is, life is uncertain, and the only time we are guaranteed is this very moment. It's time to wake up to the value of your days and start using them intentionally. Every day is a blank canvas, offering you a chance to create something meaningful. Whether you're building relationships, pursuing a dream, or growing closer to God, how you spend your time reflects what you value most. Yet, so many of us get caught up in distractions, endless scrolling on our phones, mindlessly watching television, or worrying about things beyond our control. These distractions may seem harmless, but over time, they can rob us of our most valuable resource, time. When you invest your days in things that matter, you build a legacy that outlasts you. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. This verse is a reminder to live with awareness, understanding that each day is a gift. When you realize how precious time is, you begin to make different choices. You prioritize what matters most: your faith, your relationships, your health, and your purpose. You stop wasting time on things that drain your energy and focus instead on what fulfills you and aligns with God's plan for your life. Sometimes we hold back because we're waiting for the perfect time. We think, I'll start that project when I feel more prepared, or I'll fix that relationship when the timing feels right. But the perfect time rarely comes. More often than not, waiting becomes an excuse for inaction. The truth is, today is the perfect time to start. You don't need to have everything figured out or be in the ideal situation. What matters is taking that first step, trusting that God will guide you along the way. Fear and doubt are some of the biggest thieves of time. They whisper lies that keep us stuck, convincing us that we're not ready or that we'll fail if we try. But God has not given us a spirit of fear. He has given us courage, strength, and the promise that He will never leave us nor forsake us. When you step out in faith, you reclaim the time that fear tried to steal. You begin to live boldly, trusting that God is in control and that His plans for you are good. Time is also precious because it's the foundation for growth. Every minute you spend learning, practicing, and developing yourself is an investment in your future. But growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention and effort. Whether it's building a skill, nurturing a relationship, or deepening your faith, growth takes time. And the sooner you start, the sooner you'll see the fruits of your labor. Don't wait another year to become the person God created you to be. Start today by making choices that align with your goals and values. Another reason time is so valuable is that it allows us to make an impact. Every moment is an opportunity to encourage someone, to lend a helping hand, or to share God's love. You may never know the full impact of your actions, but when you use your time to serve others, you create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. Don't underestimate the power of a kind word, a small act of generosity, or a prayer offered in faith. These moments of connection are where true significance lies. Lastly, remember that time is a gift from God, and how we use it is an act of stewardship. Wasting time is like squandering a treasure that was entrusted to you. But when you use your time wisely, you honor the one who gave it to you. You show gratitude for the life you've been given and demonstrate your commitment to living it fully. So don't waste another year of your life. Recognize the value of each day and make the most of it. Let go of distractions, overcome fear, and start living with intention. Trust that God will guide your steps as you use your time to pursue His purpose for your life. The clock is ticking, but the good news is that it's not too late. This moment is yours. Use it wisely and watch how your life transforms. Too often we hold ourselves back because we believe we need to be perfect before we can take the next step. We tell ourselves we need to have all the answers, every skill mastered, and every flaw fixed before we begin pursuing our dreams or making meaningful changes in our lives. But let me remind you, perfection is not required. God doesn't ask for perfection. He asks for faith, effort, and a willingness to grow. If you wait until you're perfect to start, you'll be waiting forever. It's time to let go of the idea that you need to have it all together before you move forward. Perfection is an illusion. None of us are flawless, and that's okay because we serve a God who works through imperfect people. Throughout the Bible, we see stories of individuals who didn't have it all figured out, yet they were used by God in extraordinary ways. Moses doubted his ability to speak. David made mistakes that could have defined him, and Peter denied Jesus 3 times, but God didn't disqualify them because of their imperfections. Instead, He used their weaknesses to showcase His strength. The same is true for you. Your imperfections don't disqualify you, they make you human. When you hold on to the need for perfection, you create barriers that prevent you from taking action. You tell yourself, I'm not ready, or what if I fail? But failure isn't the end, it's a stepping stone. Every mistake, every setback, every stumble along the way is an opportunity to learn, grow, and get closer to where you're meant to be. The pursuit of perfection often leads to procrastination, which steals your time and keeps you from making progress. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. God doesn't need you to be perfect to bless your efforts. What He asks for is a willing heart, a spirit of perseverance, and trust in His plan. When you take a step forward in faith, even if you feel unprepared, God will meet you where you are and equip you for what's ahead. He doesn't wait for you to have all the answers because He is the answer. He fills in the gaps where we fall short and uses our imperfections to fulfill His purpose. Perfectionism can also rob you of joy. When you're constantly striving for an unattainable standard, you miss the beauty of the present moment. You become so focused on what's not perfect that you overlook all the progress you've made. Celebrate your small victories. Acknowledge how far you've come, even if you're not where you want to be yet. Every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. Living with the mindset that perfection isn't required frees you to take risks and embrace new opportunities. It allows you to step out of your comfort zone and try things you never thought possible. You may not get it right the first time or the second or third, but every attempt brings you closer to success. Trust that God is guiding your journey, and don't let the fear of imperfection keep you from experiencing the incredible things He has in store for you. Letting go of perfection also means showing yourself grace. You're not meant to carry the weight of unrealistic expectations. When you fall short, remember that God's grace is sufficient for you. He loves you not because of what you achieve, but because of who you are, a child of God. His love isn't conditional on your performance. It's steadfast, unchanging, and always available. Time is too precious to waste striving for perfection. Instead, focus on being faithful with what you have where you are right now. Use your gifts, talents, and opportunities to the best of your ability, knowing that God will take care of the rest. You don't have to be perfect to make a difference, to pursue your dreams, or to live a meaningful life. What matters is showing up, giving your best, and trusting God with the outcome. So don't let the pursuit of perfection keep you from moving forward. Take that first step, no matter how imperfect it may feel. Trust that God is working through you, imperfections and all, to bring about something beautiful. This is your time. Don't waste another year waiting to be perfect. Start today and let God use your imperfect efforts to create something extraordinary. Fear and doubt are two of the most powerful forces that hold us back in life. They whisper lies into our minds, convincing us that we're not good enough, that we'll fail, or that the risks are too high. But fear and doubt are not from God. They are barriers meant to keep you stuck in place, robbing you of the abundant life you were created to live. If you want to step into your purpose and make the most of the time you've been given, you must let go of fear and doubt. They have no place in the life of someone who trusts in God's plan. Fear often arises when we focus on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. It magnifies the obstacles and minimizes our potential. But the Bible tells us in 2 Timothy, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. This means that fear is not part of your identity. God has equipped you with the strength to overcome challenges, the love to persist through adversity, and the clarity to make wise decisions. When fear tries to creep in, remind yourself that you are not alone. God is with you every step of the way, providing you with everything you need. Doubt, on the other hand, questions your worth and capabilities. It makes you second guess your dreams and your decisions, keeping you in a cycle of hesitation. But doubt cannot coexist with faith. When you trust in God's promises, doubt loses its power. God has called you to a life of confidence, not because of your own abilities, but because of His. Philippians says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This verse is a declaration that no challenge is too great, no dream is too big, and no obstacle is insurmountable when you lean on God's strength. Letting go of fear and doubt doesn't mean you won't feel them. It means choosing to move forward despite them. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to take action in the face of it. Every time you choose faith over fear, you grow stronger. You build resilience and confidence, proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Start small if you have to, but take that first step. Each step forward diminishes the power of fear and strengthens your trust in God. Fear and doubt thrive in inaction. The longer you wait, the louder their voices become. But when you take action, even imperfectly, you disrupt their hold on your life. Begin by identifying what you're afraid of or what doubts are holding you back. Then confront them with truth. Replace the lies with God's promises.